moving in to another topic, okay, for the Montreal Canadiens. And this one is, again, philosophical because we're in the philosophical stage of our podcast right now. So, okay. Now, this might sound weird, but I've been thinking about this throughout the week.
I'm ready.
So obviously we're in this pandemic. We have a 56 game schedule. We're down to 50 games left. And the big thing is that obviously there's the bubble and all of that good stuff, but there's also no fans. And the Montreal Canadiens, of course, the mecca of hockey, is the place that when there are fans, it could either be the greatest thing on the fucking planet or it could be the worst fucking thing on the planet. It could be living hell or absolute ecstasy in Montreal. And for those of you who have lived through the eras that have been Marc Bergevin's tenure, you've seen the ups, you've seen the downs, you've seen the 0-10 starts or whatever it was with Max Pacioretty, the 8-game losing streaks 2 times in a row last season. We've been through quite a bit, okay? Now, my question in this philosophical segment is, does the fact that we have a new team with new acquisitions, with new additions, and the fact that there are no Habs fans, a positive for this team? I let you go. Alex, you first.
Yes, I'm going to say yes. A specific example I'm thinking of is Toffoli, his first 2 games, reading comments online. People thought he was garbage for missing these chances. I can't imagine if it was in the Bell Center, like a close game, that Leafs game where he had a few chances. He had a chance in the OT. I think you feel the pressure of those fans, especially coming into a new environment like the Bell Center. There's no place like it. Like you said, when it's going, when we're winning, there's no other place you'd want to play. But when you're losing, when you make a mistake, I think it's probably the worst place to be. So yeah, I think it gives these new guys some time to settle into the team. They can try things. I think like Suzuki's moves, I know he has a lot more confidence compared to some players coming into the league, but I don't know if he tries those things in a tight game in a full Bell Center. I don't know how that'd go over if they went wrong. So yeah, I think like what you said, it gives them that time to settle in and just kind of build their play and build into this team.
Justin?
Yeah, for me, I'm kind of on the fence. I think it goes by kind of a player by player basis. Like I think some players kind of get energized by fans and they really play better in front of fans, and I think obviously Montreal, the Bell Center really supplies that for them because it's such an electric environment. But I'd say for sure, like I agree that there is less pressure playing in front of no fans, and I think that really helps, especially for the beginning of the season, because at the start of the season, the first home game, they're always nervous, especially the new players to come in. And the Bell Center, like they'll let you know. They'll let you know when you fuck up, when you do well. No matter what, they're gonna talk about it, or they're gonna make it known. Exactly.
Everything.
If you miss a stick check on a 2-on-1 or
if
something,
you ice the puck.
Exactly.
Anyway.
No, I mean Joel Edmondson could have been booed his first game if he was playing in the Bell Center for sure.
Yeah.
So I think especially for the first part of the season, it helps incredibly. Once you get into that flow of maybe winning some games on the road, coming back, then I don't think it's as important because it's more of a routine, and you don't necessarily take it as kind of like a big deal in your mind. But I think definitely it is something that I think it's definitely something that affects players, and maybe some more than others. But I think it's obviously worked well for us. So I think it's great that we have no fans.
Do you think that it would actually? Do you think it would actually impact like our winning right now? Do you think that we would have the same record if there was fans right now? I think yes. Honestly,
I don't think so. I think
really, eh?
Because it's a 6 games.
Also, we're playing away. Playing away.
6 games on the road, I think, would be more difficult if there were fans there. I think it does get to players. I think like getting booed, going to the penalty box over and over, and those Vancouver guys, those green guys in their suits there. I forget what they're called.
They retired though, didn't they?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think they did.
But I mean, if you're, I don't know who was getting a lot of penalties that night. Anderson had a few. He might have been shaken up by that, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't say necessarily that we'd have a different record, but I think the games might be different, and the players would feel differently if they play, especially playing on the road for the. What is this? 7 games, I guess, or 6 games that we play on the road before coming back home. Like it's tough playing in another barn for all those games. Like
I'm thinking, just tonight.
Well, I guess the argument was Sorry, go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, I'm thinking just tonight, like when Vancouver tied it 2-2. If you have the fan momentum there, like you're getting nervous as a Habs D-man when they're starting another cycle in your zone and the fans are all screaming and stuff. I think it gets the players for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, yeah. What I was just gonna say is that I mean the argument was mainly from the Montreal Canadiens fan base standpoint, because obviously the media following you after the game, all of that stuff, and it's not a Zoom call where they have like all of their space and they're just like, like they're rolling it, and you have Paul Wilson that's just kind of filtering the question after question. So I'm curious to see if this is going to impact like later on in the year, if ever we get fans. I don't think it's going to happen, to be honest, but it's something that we probably won't get an answer to. But I definitely think that, like you said, the key moments is really where you can see that the momentum could have potentially shifted things, like tonight, the 2-2 tie there from Pettersson, and him getting a little bit more of a jolt than just like, Bo Horvat being like, hey, great job, kid. Like, it's like the whole fucking stadium being like, yes, so
I think that's a good point though, for momentum's sake. Like when you have momentum in a game, I think the fans are really good at kind of continuing that momentum and just encouraging the players to keep going. And I think that's something that's missing, but also it's something that we saw in this game, actually, in the game last night, where they tied the game, and then we instantly were like, all right, we're coming back. And there was no kind of pushback really from like the building or anything, or any atmosphere aspect of it. It was just like, we can come back, like whatever, like no one's going against us, we might as well. Like it seemed like it was just a change of momentum like that. Whereas in a building full of fans, it seems like that would be maybe a harder thing to pull off.
I think.
Do they hear the fake cheering?
No,
I
don't think so.
No, eh?
No.
Okay. Because I thought that would be weird that they have like fake cheers and they're just like, okay.
One thing I'm thinking too, like one little point I want to make on this. I think if we had played these games in the Bell Center, I think we would have way less penalties if we were playing in a full Bell Center.
Interesting.
I think those boos from the fans, I think that gets into refs' heads.
Yeah.
It has to. There's no way it doesn't.
I thought you were going to say that it was going to impact the Habs play, but I was about to say that for me, it's from a ref standpoint. They're just like fucking like looking at shit, and they're like, I'm having a field day. Nobody's telling me fuck all today.
Yeah.
So
the refs are off their fucking leash. It's fucked. It's fucked. They're having the time of their lives. Yeah. They're blowing the whistle every 2 fucking minutes on anything.
Yeah, it's so true. So true. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm glad we had that conversation. I had this question in my mind throughout the week, so I like your answers. I agree with both of you, and we'll see if we'll ever get proven in terms of the fan momentum. Maybe this year. This year would be a very interesting kind of experiment to see the transition between no fans at all and fans. So hopefully, for everyone's sake, that's going to be the case. So.